Welcome to the video replay for Double Up Trivia for October 4th, 2020. This is just a replay of the questions and answers, but if you want to join the actual live trivia event, which is free, it streams every Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific at twitch.tv/yearofglad. So today let's take a look at the questions and answers from October 4th. In round one, there are 8 questions. I'll give each question and then I'll give a few seconds and then I will give the answer for each question. If you need more time to answer the questions, go ahead and just pause the video. Round 1, question number 1. The stock ticker symbol for Southwest Airlines is a reference to an airport that was the main airport of what city until 1974? That city is Dallas, Texas. Their Southwest ticker symbol is LUV, which is a reference to Dallas's Love Field. Round 1, question number 2. The cover of The Clash's London Calling bears a strong resemblance to the cover of the self-titled album by what musician released 24 years earlier? That musician, and here's a picture of both album covers, is Elvis Presley. Round 1, question number 3. The last name of what politician begins with the name of the African country of which he was president from 1964 until 1978? That politician was Jomo Kenyatta, who was the first Prime Minister of Kenya in addition to being the first President of Kenya, and has the international airport in Nairobi named after him. Round 1, question number 4. What morning show, which premiered on ESPN2 in 2003 and was replaced by ESPN First Take in 2007, had a name that is a common leftover food? That show was Cold Pizza, which was an effort to produce a sports-themed morning show like Good Morning America. Round 1, question number 5. What title character of a 1971 John Gardner novel, a descendant of Cain, described as, quote, exiled from happiness and accursed of God, the destroyer and devourer of our humankind, originated approximately 1,000 years prior to the publication of Gardner's novel? And that character is Grendel. The Gardner book is a retelling of the story of Beowulf from the vantage point of Grendel. Round 1, question number 6. The only known historical appearance of a Latin phrase with what English translation appears on the Hunt Lennox globe just off the east coast of Asia? That phrase, or rather the English translation of the phrase, is "Here be dragons," which may have actually been a reference to the Komodo dragons of Indonesia. Round 1, question number 7. What currently vacant position within the United States government, often confused with the position currently held by Steven Mnuchin, has had 16 consecutive female appointees, starting with Georgia Nice Clark in 1949? That position is the treasurer. Steven Mnuchin is the Secretary of the Treasury. The post of treasurer has been vacant since January 14th, 2020. And round 1, question 8. Cartoonist H.T. Webster created what character in 1924 who he described as, quote, the man who speaks softly and gets hit with a big stick? That character was Caspar Milquetoast. Of course, the last name of Caspar Milquetoast has come to mean a weak or ineffectual person. It finishes round 1 and brings us to the speed round. In the actual trivia event, teams would have 4 minutes to complete the swordplay round. In the swordplay round, teams are given 3 pairs of clues, and the letters at the end of the first of each clue in each pair begins the answer of the second clue in each pair, and then those overlapping letters can be rearranged to form a member of a given category. So here's today's swordplay. The category is sports. The first two clues are a material that is 5 times stronger than steel, plus full name of filmmaker involved in the Dogma 95 movement, and the 3 in parentheses indicates that the last 3 letters of the material are the first 3 letters of the full name of the filmmaker. In other words, there are 3 overlapping letters between the answers to the 2 clues. Clue number 2, word shared by chain of home improvement stores and office supply stores, plus city in which conference about post-World War II Germany was held. And number 3, full name of playwright, who some say faked his own death and then wrote as Shakespeare, plus full name of Jackie Chan partner in Shanghai Noon. And again, there are 3 overlapping letters. And if you take all 9 of those overlapping letters and rearrange them, you get a sport. The answers for this week's swordplay round. The material that is 5 times stronger than steel is Kevlar, and the full name of the filmmaker is Lars von Trier, and the overlapping letters are LAR. Number 2, the word shared by the chain of home improvement stores and office supply stores, plus the city in which the conference about post-World War II Germany was held. Those answers are Depot and Potsdam. The overlapping letters are POT. And finally, the full name of the playwright is Christopher Marlowe, and the full name of the Jackie Chan partner is Owen Wilson. The overlapping letters are OWE, and an anagram of all 9 of those letters is the sport of water polo. That brings us to round 2, which is exactly the same as round 1. There are 8 questions. In the first question in round 2, the word wiki is a Hawaiian word synonymous with what word found in the title of a 1995 Sharon Stone Western, in which it means living people? That word is quick, and the movie referenced is Sharon Stone's 1995, The Quick and the Dead. Round 2, question number 2. What dish consists of thinly sliced salmon, usually accompanied by a sauce known as mustard sauce in Norway and fox sauce in Denmark? That dish is gravlax, which comes from Indo-European root words meaning to dig and salmon. Round 2, question number 3. Audrey Hepburn was nominated for Best Actress in both 1953 and 1954 and won the award in 1953. She played a princess in one movie and the titular character in the other. What are the titles of both films? Those 2 films were Roman Holiday and Sabrina. Round 2, question number 4. What governor of Tennessee won 3 consecutive terms and had a Clarksville, Tennessee college named after him while still in office? That governor and that college is Austin Peay. And while in office, Peay passed the Butler Act, which forbade teaching evolution and led directly to the Scopes trial. Round 2, question number 5. Lilly Ledbetter, a former Goodyear employee, lends her name to a 2009 Act of Congress with what 2-word phrase in its name? Something Ledbetter claimed she was denied during her time at Goodyear. And during her time at Goodyear, Ledbetter claimed that she was denied fair pay, and part of the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act of 2009 is to allow for the statute of limitations on such claims to be reset with the issuance of each new paycheck. Round 2, question number 6. What 5-letter word describes a fruit with a fleshy outer part and a single stony pit, such as an apricot or plum, and is an anagram of a word for a proper or modest person? The 5-letter word that describes the fruit is drupe, which is an anagram of prude. Round 2, question number 7. What is the alliterative 2-word term for the string of now mostly defunct summer resorts in the Catskills, named partially after a food brought to the United States by the Ashkenazi and Slavic immigrants who frequented the area? And in the actual trivia, we had some good guesses, including Lutefisk Lane and Cabbage Cottages. The actual answer here is the Borscht Belt, which helped begin or further the careers of many, many comedians. And round 2, question number 8. 4 people with the initials LB are name-checked in REM's It's the End of the World as We Know It and I Feel Fine. The 4 people are a music journalist, a comedian, a composer, and a politician. Who are any 2 of the 4 people? And teams were given an extra 3 points if they, in addition to naming the first 2 of the 4 people, were able to name the other 2 of the 4 people. And those 4 LBs are Lenny Bruce, Lester Bangs, Leonard Bernstein, and Leonid Brezhnev. And that's the end of round 2. It brings us to round 3, which is the final round. For this week, here are the instructions and there are examples that we'll take a look at on the next page. Some or all of the members of 8 groups will be given. Also, the initials of a phrase describing each group will be given. Short words such as of and the are spelled out. And answers must match the given initials and words exactly. So while teams are given 8 groups, they only have to answer 5 of them. And here are some examples. For example, if the clue was Dave Grohl and Krist Novoselic, and the initialism was M of N, the answer would be members of Nirvana. Likewise, Moldova, Estonia, Kazakhstan with FSSR would be former Soviet Socialist republics. And the last example, if the group was William I, William II, Henry I, and Stephen, along with the initialism NK of E, the answer would be Norman Kings of England. So here were the 8 groups and initialisms that teams were given. And we'll take a look at all 8 answers. Again, teams in the actual trivia event only have to give 5 answers, and those answers are scored based on how common or rare they are. But here are the 8 answers. We have the Steel Curtain, Omaha, Assault and Justify are all Triple Crown winners. Ellesmere, Banks, and Melville are all Canadian islands. Zulu, Xhosa, and Southern Sotho are all official languages of South Africa. Jack Dawkins, Bill Sykes, and Mr. Brownlow are all characters from Oliver Twist. Florida Giant, Crimson Sweet, and Klondike Blue Ribbon Striped are all varieties of watermelon. Primary Colors, Frankenstein, and Go Ask Alice are all books originally published anonymously. And finally, Bullseye, Cliffhangers, and Golden Road are all The Price is Right games. And that brings us to an end of this replay of Double Up Trivia. Thanks for playing along. Thanks for watching. Again, if you want to participate in the actual live trivia event, it is every Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific at twitch.tv/yearofglad. It is totally free. There are no prizes, though. But feel free to come along, hang out, and hopefully we will see you there. Thanks for watching.